I'll ask
got a confirmation for you. Large explosion 12 miles southeast of Fifth Point Park. At updated position 4038 north. 7238 west. Charlie 14 is on scene. There's already a raft in the water. Apparently we're looking for survivors. We got 360s from Cape Cod and 1,000 numerous National Guard, 60s possibly going en route, and one subject C-130 overhead now. All talking on channel 16.
Charlie Green, this is Coast Guard, Rescue 6595, Rescue Dolphin, 13818.
Roger, Rescue C-130. We saw quite a bit of debris. We can see bodies in the water, life rafts. Appears to have been some sort of large passenger jetliner and a possible mid-air. That's all we can really tell from what we can see.
Is on board Chopper 4. Tom, what are we looking at?
We're actually flying over what they call a temporary restricted flying area. You can see some helicopters using searchlights over the areas. We're coming a lot closer. Right now we're about 5 miles away and about close to 6,000 feet above the actual site. You can see all the flashing lights down in the water itself. As we pull out here, just want to show you there's a lot of search boats. You can see flashing a searchlight on an aircraft over here, just off to the left. Appeared to be looking down into the water, just to the eastern end of all of the activity going on.
Thank you, Governor, for joining us tonight. We know you've been on the phone constantly with the FBI, James Kallstrom, the New York director of the Bureau.
We're still primarily searching for survivors. We're not giving up hope that there may be survivors. Miracles do happen.
They didn't die immediately. They died after the plane crashed into the sea.
Cover debris, and we'll recover any type of remains that we find.
On board. We are hearing late tonight that might not have been the case here, that this may have been indeed no accident.
I was at a movie with my girlfriend, and I was paged, and we were literally on the scene within an hour. You could see the flames still swelling up 50 feet to 100 feet in the air, and you could clearly make out a distinct shape of an aircraft. It was an oblong shape with debris scattered around it. You see the bodies, and you don't realize, you're not aware that, well, you're aware that you're looking at bodies and you're looking at people, but it's just, you're just covering part of a job, and it's not until you see a lot of the personal effects, until you see the clothing, until you see some of the personal effects, the cameras and the luggage, that it actually starts to put a human face on it. And some of the Coast Guard crews we were talking to, you could tell they were very somber when speaking to them.
Flying a helicopter at night over the water with no great deal of illumination is difficult enough in itself. And then the other major concern would be deconflicting the aircraft. At one time I had 10 aircraft that I was controlling before the surface units took over with the traffic control. What I did was I told the Air National Guard guy, I said, how about you search south of the fireball and I'll start a search pattern north of the fireball. That ensured that we would be separated and we wouldn't collide with each other. One of the larger, obviously, disasters that could happen and that you could respond to would be some kind of airliner crash offshore. Tonight it happened. But when you think about those things, you always think, well, you're going to be out there and you're going to get somebody and you're going to bring them home, and that wasn't to be. I guess the nature in which this aircraft came down was violent enough that probably there are no survivors.
That night when I got the phone call that
Captain, we have a 747 that just crashed off Long Island. I was dumbfounded for a few seconds. I thought, my God, is this a drill? Are you kidding me? But no, it was a real thing. Okay. What you got?
Look, Captain, this is what we have so far. This is where the aircraft went down. These are the search areas.
Right here?
Yes, sir. This is what we have planned in searches so far. This is where we found debris. As you can see,
we were being very, very aggressive in our search efforts. People in the water was our primary target from the beginning.
Half knot to the east.
And we were going to search until we found everything that could be found on the surface. And we weren't going to stop till that was done. And we held to it. Okay?
6595, primary tie down, take signal to the LXL.
6595.
ACS check.
5 clear.
My heart goes out to everybody who was involved in the rescue effort. I don't know how long they operated without sleep, picking up some terrible things, and those memories will be etched in their minds forever. That was tough to see that.
Good, release, clear. Okay.
Clear, auxiliary.
Clear left. NCS floor, center panel's good, OEIs are on floor, takeoff checks are complete.
There are images that will stay with me, I'm sure, the rest of my life. I know they will. The nature of a catastrophe of this size is overwhelming to some extent. But I mean, we're very busy in our job. We're very busy looking for the survivors. You kind of go into a mechanical mode somewhat. And so it went very smoothly as far as that went. When it became apparent, and to this point it doesn't look like there are any survivors and they haven't recovered any, the next best thing I guess you can do then is at least bring the victims home so the families have someone to bury and they can kind of bring closure to it. It's sad that was the best thing that was going to come out of our mission, but it was, and so we had to rely on that. At least we were doing that. I want to specify that at this point the search goes on, and it will. So if there's people out there, we're going to hopefully find them.